Okay, moving on. I get all sorts of calls and requests as a priest, and every day is completely different and unexpected, and I love it. But occasionally, once in a great while, someone will call and say, Father, I've been hearing some things in my house at night, strange sounds, and I feel a presence when there's no one there. I think there might be a ghost or something in my house. Can you come and do an exorcism or something? And me, completely trusting and believing their experience, I'll say, I'm so sorry that's happening to you. That must be really unsettling. I'd be happy to come bless your house, but first, when was the last time that you attended Mass or confession? And are you and your family praying regularly together? Well, it's been many years, Father. I just really need you to come wave your arms around and sprinkle holy water everywhere. Like I said, I'd be happy to, but first I'd like you to come and simply receive the sacraments and see if those sounds and feelings disappear. Oftentimes, I see them the very next day. They get right with the church, they feel better, and all that spooky stuff disappears completely. Sometimes I don't see or hear from them again until a great while later, and things have gotten worse, either in their house or in their life. But my advice is still the same. Put the lime in the coconut, call me in the morning. Simply receive the sacraments, start praying regularly, and we'll go from there. There's really not much else I can do at the start. Now, there's a variety of explanations of what could be going on in their house: overactive imagination, mental illness, or actual spiritual activity. These are all possibilities. And there's so much we don't know about the invisible world around us. Demons are indeed very real, but so are angels, and so is God's power over all of them, visible and invisible. Also, significant demonic activity is very rare and really only happens to tremendously holy saints who are threatening Satan's plans with their good works, or those who have opened themselves up to it through Ouija boards or mediums or other occult practices. If either of these apply to you or someone you know, come talk to me after Mass and know that God will take care of you and his grace will be enough to help you. Actually, most demonic activity that you or anyone will experience in their life will actually be the subtle temptation to doubt God's love, refusal to forgive someone, or be judgmental to others. But nevertheless, we still want to keep ourselves safe. We still want to defend our families from any type of harm. So that's why we eat healthy and exercise. That's why we have insurance policies. And that's why I recommend listening to the experts, even if those experts don't give us the advice we want to hear. So I bring all this up because it's so similar to Naaman's situation in the first reading. This extremely successful army commander has had many victories, but he is plagued by one of the worst physical and socially debilitating diseases of the time: leprosy. He calls the prophet Elisha and asks him to show him God's power to wave his hands around and heal him. Elisha instead says, "Go wash 7 times in the Jordan River." And Naaman says, "That's it? Really? That's it? I take a bath a couple times and I get rid of my leprosy? There has to be a much cooler way to deal with this." His servants gently remind him that if the prophet asked him to stand on his head and give all his money away, he would gladly do it. So why not just give this simple exercise a try? So Naaman finally agrees, and he does wash 7 times in the Jordan, and his leprosy is healed, just like Elisha said. It's not very flashy or exciting, but it works. Just like the 7 sacraments, they are designed to be cunningly simple, yet extremely effective. So I could go to that person's house and I could scream in Latin and throw holy water around, just like you see in the movies, but that really would be just a Band-Aid for what needs fixing. And that's a personal faith, trust, and a good relationship with the Lord. So yes, of course, I have power and authority as a priest. But you also have massive power over doubt, fear, and evil, just by virtue of you being baptized. How many times have you seen an ad or even been tempted by the idea that if you buy the perfect exercise bike or perfect running shoe, no matter how expensive, then you can finally become fit and healthy and achieve all your dreams? But just like any runner or biker knows, yes, good quality equipment is important, but the shoe or the bike isn't what's going to make you get out there and get those miles in. It's cunningly simple, yet effective, the act of doing it every single day. The same goes for daily prayer, regular mass, and periodic confession. It's not flashy or exciting, but it gets the job done. The reason I give the advice I do to anyone who hears things go bump in the night is because, one, demons and evil spirits hate the sacraments and they can't stand being in a house where the occupants are closely devoted to Jesus. Also, even if it isn't something spiritual, then it gets the rest of their life and their heart and their mind in order. But the sacraments aren't meant to be a good luck charm for keeping away bad things. They also help us develop and attract the good things, like the virtues of forgiveness, patience, perseverance, community, love, and the greatest good of all, the actual presence of Jesus in the Eucharist, living inside us, walking around in our homes. This week, with your family, I invite you to look up the dates you received your sacraments and celebrate them. Reflect on how you can live out the grace that each sacrament gives you, and continue to stay close to the cunningly simple yet effective treatment for all our ills that God gives us through the sacraments. Amen.